And when it comes to empathy, is like, let's say, for example, the example he gave was, I'm going to be giving the examples that this guy gave. He said, for example, you as a man, you are feeling not so well, you are ill. And it's, you know, the way we expect men to be this strong people. Sema uko natuka homa kiasi, unakohoa, and then you decide, babe, nifanye. You know how men, when they become sick, they want to be treated like babies. But you're there like, amka uende kazi.
Juhoma nini? Kama mimi na
Jezebel.
No, if it's a valid reason, that makes sense. Lakini homa, my love, va mask and a job, va piga. Come on, you do not expect me to show you empathy ati juko na homa.
Girl, do you love this man?
I do. Babe, that's tough love. That is not lacking empathy. That is tough love. So if you don't know how to differentiate between the two,
tough love and lack of empathy.
I mean,
now the next characteristic na hii najua itagusa wengi. He says, if you see a woman who comes into a man's life, let's say this man was single. He starts. So what's up, everybody? I hope you have been amazing. This is the Wave Central, where we bring you the hottest topics with the hottest babes. My name is Clara Ndinda, and I'm joined by the one and only
Jojo Tyra, or you can call me
the Boss Mama.
Everything in between.
Between there. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, baby. Yeah, we know what you're talking about.
Okay, Jojo, how have you been?
Been great. Been top in Kenya, top in Nairobi, top in Urban TV.
And on top
of you, Daddy.
This girl is not okay in there.
That was a joke, though.
Anyway, so today's topic is something that is very interesting. And you know, I've been reading the comments, and guys are like, oh, you're always discussing men. Today, we're not discussing men. So what do you think the topic is going to be?
Let me see. Food. I love food. I love anything.
Clearly.
Girl.
You love food.
Yeah, man, I'm a manifestation of food.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is manifesting in the physical.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, actually, this topic, in as much as I've said we're not going to be talking about men, we know it's sad, but they're part of our lives. So, in one way or another, they're going to be a part of this discussion. So, the topic of the day is the Jezebel spirit in women.
Oh, okay.
Jojo, do you know who Jezebel is or was in the Bible?
Yeah, I know Jezebel. Jezebel.
Who was she?
Jezebel was the girl who cut off Samson's hair.
Why you should see how confident she is when she's saying that.
But senior, Ama.
Do you read your Bible?
Well, the last time I read, it's been a minute.
Tupende Yesu.
I love God. Only that Bible.
It had to be, you know, Samson, because you know Jojo anapenda hizo tabia, so But actually, to bust your bubble, let me give you a clue. Jezebel was a queen.
Oh yeah, she was.
Yes.
No, it rings a bell. Alikuwa bibia nani?
Ebu guess. Because I've told you she was a queen, so she must have been a wife to a king. King who?
Ahab.
King Ahab,
You see, I read my Bible.
Yeah, after giving you 200 hints.
Wow.
Anyway, the person you were talking about, the one that cut Samson's hair, that is Delilah.
Oh, yeah, the difference. But then again, they were both, you know, controversial people in the Bible.
Yeah. Jojo is actually a Delilah in real life.
Guilty as charged.
See, she's not even refusing it. Anyway, let this not turn into a Bible study. So absolutely. I'm going to be talking about the Jezebel spirit in women. And this came because I was scrolling on social media and then I came across this man, a full-grown ass man.
It has to be a man, always.
A married man. He looks respectable. This is not even a Gen Z. He looks like he's in his 40s. Speaking about women. And not just speaking about women in a good way.
Yeah.
Speaking low about women.
women.
And he is the one that was describing this Jezebel spirit in women. And he was even giving characteristics. Now, I'm going to be
Is he married?
Yes.
What?
Very solid marriage.
Na anaongelea wanawake.
Mm-hmm.
Lowly.
Lowly.
For that matter.
Yes. But anyway, to us, maybe we might see it as lowly.
Yeah.
But to the men.
Yeah. You know, keep it
Anawaeka
loaded.
pale, you know,
Yeah.
masculinity. Team masculinity.
Oh, well.
So what is your take, Jojo, on men who go on social media, on public platforms to, you know, speak lowly about women?
Well, if any man has the audacity to open up his mouth and speak lowly about women, that means that man has inferiority complex and he does not have, how do we call it, self-esteem. He has self-esteem issues. So if this guy who has a wife sits down to talk about women lowly, nigga, you need to check yourself. Yeah, either there's just something about him that maybe when he sees any woman or experiences any woman, and I feel, you know, triggered. Or yeah.
So you said the man is the one that has self-esteem issues.
Yeah.
What about this wife's man? This man's wife? I'm sorry.
I can't really speak much about her because, you know, seeing is believing. So it's tunamsikia tu. It's like we know he has a wife, but I've never gotten to know or rather experience or see what this wife looks like or does. Get.
Okay. Yeah. So now I'm gonna be talking about this man. This is actually a very famous man. So if you're a person who consumes such content, you might be definitely knowing who I'm talking about. But I'm not gonna give him free PR over here.
Do I know him?
Maybe I'll share his socials with you, and you know you'll see him. So some of the characteristics he said about this, you know, women with Jezebel spirits. I'm gonna mention them, and then we're going to go step by step to Kizi, you know, Kiziongelelea. We are expounding on them. So some of the characteristics are they are narcissistic. Jojo. Jojo.
Yeah.
Now, in the past few years, I can say the word narcissist and toxic have been misused.
Mara mingi sana.
People don't even know what narcissist means.
Yeah.
Tell us, what does narcissist mean? What does a narcissist mean? Give us some characteristics of a narcissistic person.
Okay, so let me just try to explain it.
Okay.
In a layman's language, a narcissist is a person who enjoys or feeds in pain, be it physical, emotional,
physical
just name
pain?
it. Yeah, physical pain or emotional pain. I feel that is a narcissist.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not a violent person. Or a violent person can also be a narcissistic
exactly.
person. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. They you know one or the other they're married. They're married.
They're married.
Yeah.
So he says one of the characteristics of a woman with a Jezebel spirit, she is a narcissistic woman. One thing, we were having a conversation off camera, and you told me women are not born naturally narcissistic.
Yeah.
They are triggered to narcissism.
Exactly. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Since time immemorial, we women are known to be submissive, kind, loving, you know, name it all. So when that man says that a woman is a narcissist, it means that particular woman was triggered. Okay, because come on, I'm a woman, you're a woman. We know that we are the most purest, the most kindest people.
Jojo.
Up until you tried. Yani utufinya tu hivi kidogo, and then we'll show you your
So you don't think there's women out here who generally just have bad behavior? They must have been triggered into.
Bad behavior is there. I do not refute that. But narcissist, my love, how many? Okay, Ebu, give me an example. Just think randomly of people who are narcissists who are women. Tell me.
I know a couple, but you can also tell us in the comment section down below, because Jojo does not believe that women can be narcissistic. You must have triggered that woman into narcissism. But men, on the other hand, are born, the ones that are narcissistic have been born with it. What makes you say that? Have you ever experienced a narcissistic person?
I have.
Uh-huh.
I have. Hey, I
Fungua
thought
roho. Ongea kutoke.
we were talking about the 40-year-old guy, but
Uh-huh.
anyway, I've experienced a narcissist, and
Mhm.
let me tell you,
Yeah.
most women, if let's even use a good example, when a
Mhm.
woman gives birth to a child,
Yeah.
whether this kid is a very bad criminal, talk of
Mhm.
hata ni mtoi mwenye asikii shule afanye nini, they'll still love that child.
Mhm.
But when it comes to a dad, they
Mhm.
give up easily on that kid, right?
So that gives ground to say that somebody is a narcissist?
No,
Okay.
it's just an example. You see, the
Okay.
way women know how to love more than just make somebody feel pain. For men, they really don't
Because
care,
you carried that thing in your womb.
regardless.
Okay, before we turn this topic into narcissism, the other characteristic that this person said of women with Jezebel spirits, they lack empathy.
Is that so? Do we lack empathy? What is
Wait,
empathy?
do we? Are you trying?
No, I'm a woman.
Are
So
you trying to say you have a Jezebel spirit inside of you?
maybe, I don't know.
Who is this
Maybe.
girl?
Maybe. I've said maybe.
So okay, let's start. Are you narcissistic?
I'm not.
Okay, so no.
Mhm.
Do you lack empathy?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Do I lack him? No, I don't.
I
I
don't
don't
think
lack.
Jojo is actually one of the
Yeah.
sweetest human beings. I'm the one who could,
Aww.
who tends to portray myself as somebody who lacks empathy.
But she's the sweetest. Even she
For what?
surpasses. Yes, surpasses. She surpasses
Karibu
me.
ongea kikisi.
Shut up.
She passes.
Really?
Yeah. So this guy says like,
Mhm.
if you lack empathy, that means you have a Jezebel spirit inside of you.
I really don't think.
And when it comes to empathy, is like, let's say, for example, the example he gave was, I'm going to be giving the examples that this guy gave. He said, for example, you as a man, you are feeling not so well, you are ill. And it's, the way we expect men to be this strong people.
Yeah.
Sema uko natuka homa kiasi, unakohoa, and then you decide, babe, nifanye. You know how men, when they become sick, they want to be treated like babies. But you're there like, amka uende kazi.
Juhoma nini? Kama mimi na
Jezebel.
No, if it's a valid reason,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Lakini homa, my love, va mask and a job, va piga. Come on, you do not expect me to show you empathy at juko na homa.
Girl, do you love this man?
I do. Babe, that's tough love. That is not lacking empathy. That is tough love. So if you don't know how to differentiate between the
tough
two,
love and lack of empathy.
I mean,
Now, the next characteristic, na hii najua itagusa wengi. He says, if you see a woman who comes into a man's life, let's say this man was single.
Yeah.
He starts dating. And all of a sudden, he's no longer close to his mom and his sisters. Okay. And maybe sometimes, let's just say generally family.
Yeah.
But sana sana mother and sisters. That means you, as a woman, you are a Jezebel.
Make it make sense. How would a woman, a male woman, make a man stop, showing love or just sending money to their...
Na akaguzia point fulani akasema, these women, when they come into this men's lives, they make sure they have cut. And he mentioned this one specifically, financial benefits to that man. So you'd find this woman is in this man's life. All the benefits, all this man's hard work is going to the woman's family. So that means this woman is a Jezebel.
Nah, okay. I don't know, but for me, I would say I don't think that's grounds for him to say women have Jezebel spirit because of that. I mean, you're a man. You're a grown-ass man. Why would a woman, a mere woman, make you not send money to your parents?
Now, here is where... Now, I get your point.
Yeah.
But sasa mimi nataka nikuplug. I want to tell you, if you're a man that has been affected by this, maybe for real, your wife has that Jezebel spirit. Na hataki anything to do with your mother, your sisters, your brother, generally your family.
Yeah.
This is where I plug you with this platform called Izawadi. With Izawadi, you can just go there. If you have the Safaricom app, it is an icon. It's somewhere there, you know, kwa hizo products. Just scroll, utaona Izawadi. It has a purple icon. Ukiklik hapo kwa Izawadi, just know you can get gift vouchers for your loved ones from as low as 100 Kenyan shillings. But I know the people we are talking to are not 100 bob type of people, you know. So it's una get here your mom. Your mom is somebody who gave birth to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your sisters are the people who have seen you grow. They're the ones who have been there for you through thick and thin. Manze washikia hapo ka voucher ka 10K. And you know the good thing about this? Anywhere they can redeem these points. Anywhere. Kuna lipa na M-Pesa. Where there's a till number. Yeah. They just go. Kama ni shopping, bibi yako amesema mimi sitaki kuona ukipeleka unga huko. Just get an e-voucher from Izawadi. Send it to your mom. How will she have an idea? She won't have an idea that you sent that thing.
So they shouldn't have an excuse of calling women Jezebel when you have Izawadi for you.
And also, Jojo said something about side chicks.
Yeah.
So if your woman is a Jezebel and she doesn't want to see you around other women, and let's say it happens that, but we don't promote that here.
Yeah, we don't.
Let's just say you want to take your wife on a vacation, you know?
Yeah.
Toa your Jezebel spirit kwake. Just go to Izawadi. You can even book vacations with a special note.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot you can do with Izawadi. Yeah. I want to challenge you today. Like just go to your Safaricom app. Check out Izawadi and see all the potential things that you can do there. Manze, do it for your loved ones. It doesn't have to be the women only. Even your brothers, even, you know, everybody. Kama maybe uchi wenu uyo Jezebel wako amesema sitaki.
Maybe even this guy just needs that love, even to that wife, the wife to that man who's claiming women have Jezebel spirit.
Yeah.
Ebu just surprise this man.
Surprise
Maybe
your
he
man.
needs that. He needs that to feel that women do not have Jezebel spirit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So check out Izawadi, and Manze, I know it's going to change your life. Check out Izawadi. It's going to change how you view things. Kama unataka kubaia mtu ka gift TV and you want to put a special note, wachana na hii ya M-Pesa ati unatuma tu M-Pesa. Unamtumia screenshot.
Ati umereceive.
No, for you know, the Izawadi, you can send it, and you can send it with a special message. Yeah. Now, moving on swiftly.
Yep.
Baby girl, he says, damaged women and women who have a manipulative spirit.
Damaged women.
By manipulative spirit, this is what he means. Let's say, for example, you as a wife, you want something from your man. You know he has the potential to get you this thing.
Yeah.
Tuseme wewe unataka, let's say you want shoes, but amekwambia enda kamkunji. But you know he has the capability of buying you shoes from which brand? Backyard shoes.
Yeah.
Backyard shoes. Munaona tunawataja huku. That is a manipulative spirit.
Yeah.
Those were what that guy said. It's not that
he gave that specific example.
Yes.
That
is manipulative, and that means you have a Jezebel spirit. So you should not want the best from your man.
No, definitely. Yeah, because if you're giving out the best, you definitely would not expect anything less than that.
Because he says, if your man is a giver, mbona usikubali hiyo kidogo?
Really? Let me again, inferiority complex. This man, in short, he needs to get his cards straight. No man would complain about a woman asking for much. Yeah, that's what I would say about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now this other one, and I want you to tell us in the comment section, whether you agree with it or not.
Yeah.
This one here, he says, women who have standards but do not want the men to have standards. Let me give the example he gave.
Yeah, please do.
He said, for example, there's these women who, when you tell them they're fat, they don't want to be called fat. They want to be called plus size or, you know, thick.
Yeah.
But those thick women, because when you call them fat or obese, maybe you've seen how they're tending to eat, and you're just trying to tell them, you know, like this. They don't want that. They'll be like, you're body shaming.
Yeah.
You know? But those same women want body-built, well-built men.
Wametufikia.
You see, I told you we have a Jezebel, right?
Okay, well, Well, fair point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I would agree with that one point.
He also the other point he also gave, the other example he gave was when you ask this type of women about their body count, they're like, why do you want to know about my past and blah blah blah. But when the man talks about his body count, she's like, he's so disgusting. I can't.
Yeah, you're nine ukweli. Honestly speaking, I would agree with those two examples. Yeah, because I feel like we women too, we sort of have double standards in a sense that we want this, but when somebody else tells us what they want, we're like, nah, see where we're not like that, So yeah, I would agree with the two examples.
So you agree you have Jezebel tendencies?
No. I did not say
Are you
that.
in denial?
I did not say that.
Okay, here's another point he gave. He said another characteristic of a woman with a Jezebel spirit is a woman who, when she's out of order, she blames every man in her life but her. Why did you fail your exam? Oh, my father did not pay for my school fees. Oh, my boyfriend did this,
but
this,
I've
and
seen
that.
Such women.
Oh, so you agree with the points that this man is giving?
Yeah, pretty much 50-50. Yeah, I've seen such women who are like, they tend to blame every other man or every other person but them. Yet, so yeah.
Could you give us an example? Just give us one.
Okay, for example, for instance, let's see. Say zinanikwepa. Yeah. Let's see. Examples ni mingi.
Here's an example.
Yeah.
There's this I wouldn't want to necessarily call her my friend. It's just somebody I knew. So you'd find this lady, she will get an opportunity, mess that opportunity for herself, but when she's asked, now for instance, let's say, Jojo, I know you, I hear you've gotten a job at a certain company. I'm happy for you, right? Then a few days later, I ask you, what happened to this opportunity? You woke up late. You didn't go. But then you'll be like, oh, my boyfriend told me not to go. Oh, were it not for this man, I wouldn't have wasted time to go. Instead of taking accountability, they blame every other person.
So
Other
you
people,
also agree to that?
Yes, I do. I do agree with all these things that he has given. But I don't know if the Jezebel spirit is the word to
exactly
give.
It's too ambiguous for.
But you know what? Let me change my mind. I actually agree.
You do agree?
Yes. Because Jezebel in the Bible, she had all these characteristics. This was the type of woman who, okay, let me educate you, Kidogo, because maybe you might think that I don't read my Bible, but I do. Jezebel was this woman who, when she wanted something, even if it's somebody else's, she would rather kill that person and have it. That is what? Manipulative, that is condescending, that is all these things that we have talked about here. When Jezebel got married to King Ahab had no relation with his family or whatsoever. It was Jezebel's family that was, gaining and gaining and gaining and gaining and gaining. On this part for gaining, when he said, not King Ahab, this man who was speaking about this, when he said it's the woman's family that's gaining, it's not necessarily only financially. You'd find maybe in his family, the man has brothers and sisters who haven't gone to school. They need maybe school fee. And this woman as well has, maybe all her siblings are grown, but there's a brother who doesn't have school fee for going to campus. So this man will find himself paying for this one who's going to campus instead of helping his brothers who maybe just need to finish high school. Ama hiyo ni mapepo.
hiyo ni kamote.
Kamute.
Yeah.
Kamute. So I want you viewers, if you're listening to this, I want you to let us know in the comment section down below, what is that other characteristic that you define as a Jezebel spirit characteristic? We want to know in the comment section. Do you have a brother or do you have a friend out there who you feel like has a person who has this Jezebel spirit inside of them?
But then again, question, why would we blame the women to be the ones that are making this particular man not provide for the other family, for his
Because,
family?
honey, apparently, as a woman, when you come to this man's life, you tend to think for him.
Why do...
No, this is me being sarcastic.
Okay. Yeah, please be sarcastic because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
You're
because I don't
head of the
understand why
family.
when women get married, the blame is always them.
Yeah,
I've even seen a meme where someone is like, at least I'm getting married now. I don't have, my mother can blame my wife for other
everything.
things.
For real?
Yeah. Like, why are you not sending money home? They won't even ask you. They won't even ask you. They'll assume it's your wife.
Yeah. That's why most families tend to hate the wife more.
And
Not maybe hananga issue na nyinyi.
Tuseme upate, like, let's say you get married into a family where this man was like the person they depend on, and you get into this family and it happens that this man really loves you. Oh my goodness, girl, you're doomed.
My God. Marriage.
You're doomed. So I was saying before Jojo cut me short, I want you to tell us in the comment section down below. Let us engage. Like, this is how we get to engage with you as our viewer. Let us know, do you have somebody who has a Jezebel spirit? It could even be you. Just let us know in the comment section down below. Tuambie ni nini hizo unafanyanga zinakufanya unafeel wewe uko na ka Jezebel ndani yako. So any final words, Jojo?
Well, I feel like for that man, he has his comments or his opinions about women having Jezebel spirits, but I feel like it goes deeper than that. I don't think it, the way you said, it's not, Jezebel is a big word to use for.
So what word do you think they should have used?
Toxic.
Toxic?
Yeah, toxic.
Okay.
Toxic would work.
But maybe he was trying to reach a certain audience, which is the Christians.
Hata kama ni Christians, Jezebel, if you're a Christian now, you would even understand more that word.
It's an insult, actually. When somebody calls you Jezebel.
That it's very big. That's a huge, hata sijui how to term it is, but I feel like he should. Anyway, he has his own opinions, but I don't feel like women have the Jezebel spirit.
But one thing I will just want to say before we even finish is that this person knows what he's doing. It's just the same way as women who go on podcasts to talk about certain things about men. They know that will give them airtime. Yeah. So they decide to talk about it like that because they know. Yeah, we are talking about it. We're talking about him. But for this one, I know for sure he even has books out. He does seminars for men.
So it's a whole thing.
Yeah, if you're a single man out there and you're miserable, you can look for him and, attend his seminars.
So would we say that man hates women, or he's just...
No, I don't think he hates women. Yeah. You can only understand from his perspective. Maybe that's how he has learned. You don't want to say he hates women. Maybe that's just how he thinks.
Wow. Well, that's an interesting way of thinking.
So we want to tell you before we wind up one thing. Manze, subscribe, share this video, like this video. I know maybe you have a Jezebel somewhere in your life. Maybe your brother is married to a Jezebel. Finya hiyo link hapo, copy, mtumie, alafu udelete, umwambie, oops, I sent it by mistake. And as long as the message is home, you know.
Yeah. And guys, in case you missed the other episodes, please check them out on our channel at Urban TV. And for those small snapshots, nini clickbaits, check on all our socials at Urban TV 254.
And we love having your feedback because you know what? We respond, and maybe, you never know, we're going to talk about it here. So before we even finish, we also want you to tell us, because this is the topic we're going to be discussing next week.
Time,
Sponsored by the one and only Izawadi. And Izawadi is a loyalty program where, it does gifting. So we want to leave you with one question. What is that one gift that you were given that you will never forget? It could be the worst, it could be the best. Yani, haiwezi kutoka kwa akili. Let us know in the comment section down below. And the next episode, we are going to be talking about that same thing. And you never know, we might just give you a gift voucher.
You never know. And what was that awkward reaction you had after receiving that gift. I'll see you guys.
Yes. So that has been it from me. My name is Clara Ndinda.
And I've been your host, Jojo Tyro. You can call me the
The
Boss
Boss
Mama.
Mama.
Till next time, guys, is a goodbye.
Bye.